What's up guys, Sir Christopher here with another guide. This one is a more in-depth guide on how I play Holy Priest in Season of Discovery. We're just going to go to boss, and I'll be explaining a little bit about mechanics and as a priest what to do. I'm with my guild Classic and currently raid leading it, so let's get into it. As you can see, Baron Aquaus, however you say it, as a priest here, really the main mechanic is jumping platform to platform, dodging storms. I kind of jumped over, got hit with one, but jumped back here I think, and that's really the main mechanic as a caster and a priest in general. I got the charge, so when you get the charge you just want to jump off into the water. Usually doing this will stop the AoE effect from knocking everybody else off in the group. And as a priest here, I mean, right now you just want to really just kind of AoE spell. You know, he does a little bit of AoE damage with the storms and people jumping in the water. This was actually kind of sloppy, but this guy's really easy. This guy's usually not a problem. So yeah, just keep up your guys and your raid and just spam your AoE heals here. That's about it. So here we got Gura. He's gonna do that bubble he has on him right now. Right now I'm just topping off the main tanks. This was a very sloppy pull. Right now I'm just topping off the main tanks. I know that as a priest, as a healer, that bubble is gonna pop. Once that bubble pops, it's gonna do massive AoE damage. When those little bubbles are on the ground, as a healer, it's not too bad to hit them. I'll probably hit them a couple times. It gives you a lot of mana. So when they're on the ground as a healer, there's the big AoE after the burst, and that's when as a priest I use Circle of Healing to start topping off everybody. I use it on both groups. That Circle of Healing only affects one party at a time. So if you noticed, I did the group 1 and then I did group 2 with the second Circle of Healing. But other than that, this one is really a tank fight here. You got to be real careful with that bubble. When Gamaru bites, he reduces their armor, so you want to make sure to keep tanks pretty well filled, healed up, and that's pretty much the whole fight. Like I said, as a healer though, you definitely want to manage those bubbles on the ground. You can use those to your advantage to get mana back. So yeah. Next we have Lady Sarz. As a priest, this is it's an easy fight. There's going to be generally an off tank that's going to tank the ad by the waterfall or just tank the ad in general. As a priest, you definitely want to make sure that off tank is getting heals. If that off tank is not getting heals, that ad will start jumping to the rest of the group. There's not a whole lot of AoE damage. She does do a frozen arrow right there. You see I was healing our other healer. She does do a frozen arrow. It's kind of annoying. Other than that, I mean, it's just healing the main tank and making sure, you see I'm right there, I'm healing the off tank there, making sure he's not dying, making sure the off tank's not dying, and that freezing arrow will shoot out and do a little bit of damage. The ice block, you see they were standing in the ice, that'll do damage as well. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Just make sure to keep the off tank alive. Next up, we have Gast, the Murloc dude. He's kind of annoying, not gonna lie. As a healer, he's pretty annoying. The March of the Murlocs. Right here, this phase is fairly easy. It's just single target DPS mostly. He'll send those shadow crashes, just dodge them at the end of the room. But he does get annoying when the March of the Murlocs come. As a healer, you need to be ready to either single target or AoE heal whoever gets hit by those shadow Murlocs or whatever. And little tidbit, you can actually, I think I just learned it in this raid, you can stand behind those little eggs that I'm next to and you won't get hurt by the Murlocs. They don't even spawn there. The only things that'll spawn are those shadow crashes. Yeah, I learned that right there. So but you see, as a healer, everybody will start kind of getting hit by the shadow Murlocs. They do a lot of damage. I even have a shadow pot pulled up for me just in case for the extra damage. He'll go to third phase because he'll do 2 phases of the shadow Murlocs, and this is pretty easy for those phases. But when he gets to third phase, he'll spawn tentacles. When the tentacles spawn, the tentacles will start hitting pretty much everybody that's close to him and around the room. just doing extra damage. That's where the priest, you want to use your circle healing, your prayer mending. Me, I love my AoE heals. I know A lot of priests are running penance and stuff. That's cool for single target. But for me, I just love my circle of healing and I love my prayer of mending. So that's pretty much Galley Hast. Just watch the Murlocs. Third phase, big dick heals. So next boss is Lorgus Jet, aka Jet. So the beginning of the gauntlet, you basically progress by killing the priestesses, but once Jet comes out, you as a healer, you want to start really putting a lot of heals onto single target heals onto the main tank. Lorgus Jet, he'll start throwing down a Wind Fury totem. As everybody knows, that hits whenever he does a melee attack. It has a chance of hitting you twice, hitting the tank twice. So when the Wind Fury totem's out, a lot of single target DPS or heals. You see the fireball in the middle of the room. That will also, if that hits somebody, that'll explode and do a lot of AoE damage. So you also want a little bit of AoE heals on this fight. You wanna be able to have your AoE heals ready, but big single target heals as well. That's where I really like the Serendipity rune I have. Serendipity is just amazing rune in general, but it's amazing in this fight because look at the speed boost as well. Like that speed boost is just amazing. It's helping me get away from the fireball. I have a lot of speed. I can single target heals really well right here. And yeah, just be ready to do a lot of single target heals for the main tanks. And if that fireball crashes into anyone, get ready to do big AoE heals. Other than that, that's Jet and the Gauntlet. Next up is everyone's favorite, Kelris, aka Dust to Dust. Very, very weird fight here for healers. As you see, I'm marked, and they'll be following me around the room, range, DPS, and other healers. But anyway, we'll go on to healing. So 2 people went to the dream. Right here, you really want to focus on healing the tank or whoever starts getting aggro when the 2 melees go into the dream. If the chains do get off, that's when you want to start decursing like crazy. If you've noticed the people inside the dream, that's when I start decursing right there. If that curse stays on you as a priest, your job is to get rid of that curse. If that curse stays on someone, they will die very fast. So right here, I started to notice that the people inside the dream were dying, and it was very sketchy. I believe they died fully, and we had to pick it up, and we wound up picking this up, and this wound up being a win. Unfortunately, no stat for me, rip, but so right here, you just really want to focus on, as a healer, you want to focus on moving around the room, healing up the tanks as much as possible. If the melee are interrupting the Mind Blast and those kind of spells, then the range shouldn't have too much worries if they're dodging the gas puddles and stuff like that. When he gets to 35% even, you see there go, I do some more dispels there. Even when he gets to 35%, everybody has to, even the healers, you bust everything. You heal up the raid, you do everything. He'll start doing AoE damage, he'll start doing single target damage, more puddles will come around the room, gas, dispels. I mean, he goes into berserk mode. As a healer, this is where you spam your keyboard, you mash your face on the keyboard, you do everything you can to keep your raid alive. Right there, I stood on a little bit of gas so I can get that heal off. That was important. Everything matters at this phase. Just remember that. When he goes to this phase, it's dust to dust, everything matters. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Akumai, this fight is very, very heal intensive. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the biggest problem on this fight is probably the heals. This is where the healers, the DPS will be checked the most. Also tanks, it's not like Kelris where it's a lot of mechanics. It's more or less a DPS check, it's more or less a heal check. This fight just sucks in general. This is probably my least favorite. I like Kelris more. Right here, you just want to dodge the cone attack that he does. If no one gets hit with it, no one should really get hit with that. It's really easy to dodge. But why it's so heal intensive is because Akumai will start applying stacks to the tanks or anyone who gets hit by that corrosion. So when those stacks start getting applied, it increases the damage they're taking. So when those tanks get stacks on stacks, their health, you see the health, they are dropping. It drops immensely. So healers are really tested here. You have to keep your tanks up. And on top of that, a lot of the tanks, like we like to do a cheese strat, like with the pally, they'll get as much stacks as they can get so they can bubble instead of cleanse. And when you do that, they don't, when you bubble instead of cleanse, the cleanse doesn't, you're not getting those extra adds, because when you cleanse from the water elementals, you'll get the extra adds. So a lot of people will do the pally strat here and just bubble and cleanse themselves. The cleanse will go away. But yes, this is a very healer intensive fight. This is a very tank intensive fight. DPS need to be on point. They need to be blasting. As a healer though, you want to save most of you. See, I was still over almost half mana by the time you got to second phase. Second phase, this is when he starts smacking, because the pally generally isn't gonna have your main tank or pally. See, look at that, he almost died there. Isn't gonna have very much, he's not gonna have bubble or a way to cleanse his stacks other than cleansing from a water elemental, and if he does, it summons adds. So you just, as a healer in general, as a anyone in general here, you wanna just pop everything when he starts getting to 50%. But mainly as a healer, you want to keep your tanks alive. No one else should be getting hit by the corrosion. It's pretty easy to dodge. But as you can see, we had a couple close calls. And actually, this run in general was amazing. We didn't wipe once. It was an amazing run. Great guild. I love Classic. It's an amazing guild. But I've been having a lot of fun in season Discovery. In fact, I think the tank does die here. But look, I'm out of mana. I'm out of pots. I'm out of nothing. And oh no, he didn't die. Okay, so yeah. But good loots for tanks and stuff. But I want to thank you guys for watching. For Christopher, this is I'm gonna be making more guides and stuff. So stick around, see more, and I will see you guys later.